leafy greens because I try and do that. And because I always think somebody could lose weight on a 1,200 calorie diet eating cookies, and that would be what they do. But what I want is the health along with the weight loss. I want to be healthy.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that is the piece that most plans miss and most people miss, right? So I have some people that will do more of a keto type diet, but it is plant-based keto, right? They're not doing dairy and they're not doing a ton of cheese, but they are doing low carb, and their carbs are coming from vegetables, and they eat a ton of vegetables, right? Because vegetables are nutritious, the fiber is very filling, so I mean, like for me, most vegetables, depending on what we're talking about, some of the higher sugar or starch ones, like squashes or, tomatoes for some people have too high of sugar in it. But for the large majority, vegetables that grow above the ground, with the exception of corn, right, those vegetables are kind of really free range because you'll get full before you overeat them.
Right.
Right. I mean, a cup of broccoli has what, like 10 calories?
Right. I know.
So
I know.
So I mean, it really is. It's looking at the nutrient density of what we're eating, not just the calories.
Right.
I have a client that used to use MyFitnessPal religiously, and she would always be under her 1,200 or 1,400 calories, right? But she would have McDonald's for breakfast, she'd have a salad for lunch, and then she'd have a brownie for a snack in the afternoon, and then she'd stop eating because her calories were gone by 4 o'clock.
Right. Right.
So if we're just manipulating the numbers, we're missing the boat because it's not quantity that we're after, it's the quality, right? Just the same thing with my mom's health. It's the quality of her years, not just the quantity of her years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, do you eat meat or do you do a special diet or tell us about your program a little bit?
Sure. So my program, I work individually based on where people are. I've got some people that are vegetarians. I have some people that are meat eaters. I have some people that are keto, keto followers. I'll just say keto, meaning low carb, high fat, because it's what's best for their body at that time, right? Somebody that's got high insulin levels, they are not going to be able to lose weight. So one of the best things we can do is drop their carbs down, so we drop their insulin levels down and stabilize that. Now, even if somebody's doing keto, it's not a long-term thing. For me personally, I eat more of a paleo. So paleo means that I'm eating, really high quality meats. I won't eat anything unless it's pasture raised or grass fed. Now, occasionally I'll go out to eat and I can't really control that, but still my intention is to eat 90% really clean, healthy foods. The 10% I don't really worry about. Not that I'm going out and getting Burger King, but I'm not as concerned if I go out to a restaurant. That kind of falls in that 10% for me. And so I'm eating tons of veggies, like 1 to 3 cups of veggies per meal, getting some healthy fat in there, whether it's avocados, nuts or seeds, olive oil, olives, coconut, things like that. And then, having a smaller portion of protein. I mean, I do about 4 ounces. But like I said, it's wild caught fish, it's pasture raised chicken or eggs, it's grass fed beef. And again, it's really that high quality.
Right.
And that's ideally how I feel my best.
Yeah. And me too. I followed all of that because that's kind of how I eat too. So why is it better to make small changes or baby steps instead of big changes? Because this is how it was with me, is the baby steps were much more important. Every time I try to make a big change, as soon as I failed, then I was off. So so tell me about little changes and how that works well for people.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about how our subconscious is wired, Lorraine, we are wired for survival, right? So if we go back to caveman days and we're living in a cave, it's uncomfortable. It's dark, it's damp, it's stinky, there's snakes and spiders and who knows what else in there. But we know that we can survive where we are because we already have. So our brain likes to stay in that known zone. It may be uncomfortable, but it's known. Sorry, I was saying hi.
Hi, Bill.
But it's but it's comfortable. It's the known zone. it's comfortable. So we don't have to think about, how am I going to survive in this place, because we already are. So our brain's kind of the same way. If we go out and let me back up. Any threat, any change is a threat to our very existence. So if we step out of that cave as a caveman, we could be met by a butterfly or a saber-toothed tiger. We don't know how to handle the outside because it's unknown. Same thing when we make big changes. We overhaul everything in one day. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to not eat any more carbs, no more sugar. I'm going to drink a gallon of water a day. I'm going to be in bed by 10 o'clock. Like, great, admirable goals. Your brain is going to freak out because it is so much change. And it will drag you kicking and screaming back into your comfort zone in a heartbeat. Right? And that's all those things of like, I got injured and then I couldn't make it to the grocery store, and then somebody brought in donuts, and then they brought in cake, and then and we have all of these things that are distractions taking us off track. When we stretch our comfort zone and we step our big toe out of that cave, it allows us to be able to see if we're going to die or not, right? So if you go from drinking 20 ounces of water a day and you stretch that to a gallon, brain is going to freak out. But if you go from 20 ounces to 40 ounces, it's going to freak out for a day or two, and then it's going to go, oh, okay, we didn't die. We're still here. And then we go, okay, well, let's add it up. Let's double that again and do 80. And your brain freaks out for a day or two and goes, oh, my God, I'm going to be up king all night, blah, 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 blah. And yet then a day or two later, it's like, oh, okay, we didn't die. We're good. Same thing when we start adding in one more vegetable a day. Add in one more serving of fat, so you're crowding out some of that sugar you normally eat. So we're just taking those baby steps, and so we're adding in layer by layer. We feel better, and then our brain goes, oh, what else can I do? Right. Let's try this. Oh, what else can I do? So we're just layering those successes, and then our brain gets excited about it versus freaking out because we're trying to overhaul everything, and we can't sustain it anyhow. Even just the idea of trying to do that in your brain is too much.
Right. And I love your visual layering. It's not dumping, which sometimes I've tried to do is I've tried to dump on myself. Tomorrow morning, I'm waking up at 4 a.m. I'm doing this. And you're right. If I layer it on in baby steps, I get a lot further. Now we're almost out of time, Jen, and I wanted to, but I'm excited because you'll be back here next week. But I wanted you to tell the audience how they can get a hold of you. And I think that you said that you had a freebie for them. So take it away and let them know how they can get a hold of you.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. So you can follow me on Facebook at Complete Health Revolution. You can go to my website at CompleteHealthRevolution.com, or you can email me directly at jen@CompleteHealthRevolution.com. And for me, my greatest passion is to be able to see people get into action, right? And I work with a lot of folks that, are struggling with weight, or they've got some chronic health issues, and they really want to reclaim their health, and they've tried 100 different things, and they can't figure out why they can't get to that next level, right? I'm sure some of your listeners have felt the exact same way, where it's like, oh man, I want to change, and yet, I feel like I'm just stuck. I'm trying to lose weight, and I've done 50 different things, and I can't figure out how to do it. So what I would like to be able to offer, I only have a few slots on my calendar, but I have what's called a health breakthrough session, and this is really it's a 30-minute session where we can sit down and talk specifics about where you're at right now. What have you tried in the past to be able to get to where you want to go? What are those specifics about where you want to go? And then my gift is getting to the root cause, right? Why do you have that weight loss resistance? Why is it hard for you to be able to make habit changes or to get your blood sugar numbers in check or your cholesterol or your blood pressure down? My gift is getting to the root cause, and I have the ability to do that in a very quick manner. And so during that health breakthrough session, we're going to talk specifics about where you are, but you're going to walk away with an action plan.
Great.
And that action plan is going to have your next best step that you can do today to start increasing your energy, to start losing weight, drop 5 pounds in 5 days, right? Because you're really doing what's best for your body versus anybody else's. It's a $175 offer or $175 value, but I want to offer it to your listeners as my gift.
Wow.
Because I am just on a mission to make sure that no person suffers needlessly when there are answers out there.
Beautiful.
And,
beautiful. What a generous offer. So if you are feeling stuck, she says she's only got a few of those, but I would definitely get, pardon? 3?
I have three sessions a week. Yeah.
Okay. So she does only have a few, but what I loved about what she said is that Jen will give you an action plan based on you individually. So that's incredible. So take her up on that. And I want to thank her for being here today. And I'm so glad you're going to be here next week, Jen. And I want to thank the audience for being here. And if you ever have any questions or comments on our show, please contact me at lorrainehoving.com. And remember, it is never too late to take action. It is never too late to lose weight. It is never too late to follow your dreams or live a life of purpose. It is never too late, ever. Thank you, Jen, and we'll see you back here next week.
Thanks so much for having me, Lorraine.